Anyway, yeah, so if anyone knows about the game and has ever played it and enjoyed it, you, my friends, are awesome. And if you didn't enjoy it, then that's okay too. It's just that you have different tastes. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, for example, back in middle school, I was friends with, well, actually, I'll admit that I did lose contact with one of them, and just recently I lost contact with the other because, well, it's more her fault than actually mine. Well, it's kind of a mixture of both of ours, actually, because I was taking classes somewhere and I couldn't get in contact with the computer. But last time I ever saw her, she actually invited me to her wedding, and then without notifying me at all, like even sending me an email, because I have not changed my email since the day I got it back, right before middle school. I actually had that email. So I've had that email for a long time, and there should be no reason for my friends to lose contact with me, because, well, they do change their email all the time. I have not. So, yeah. So we're in, to be literal, only one of my friends of the three are still, no, I should say four. But yeah, so, yeah, one of the four are still in contact with me, and she's in college, and she still contacts me just fine. Oh, really? Really? Jesus, bird. You're such a jerk, but I'll talk to you soon. So I guess I keep my eye on you. So yeah, out of all those friends, we all have different tastes. For example, my friend Cecil, we actually were the first to, she was the first one I lost contact with, sadly to say, but she was actually the one who introduced me to most of the RPGs that I'm into, including ones that I'm not into, like Final Fantasy VIII, for example. Oh, really? There we go. But yeah, so, I am not a fan of Final Fantasy VIII, but it's not, just because I don't like it doesn't mean you can't like it. But there's so many issues with it that it's really hard for me to enjoy. But she loved that game to the point that I tried to get into it, and what's really funny about it also is that the character that she hated the most, which I believe is Zell, I actually enjoyed his character for being such a lighthearted, goofy character in a weird, trying to be serious game that has so many plot holes that I wondered many, many times on why are the characters like this. Mainly, for example, Squall. I didn't understand why he was such a brooding character. He was 18. He was out of his teenage angst stage. He should have moved on with his life. And there was nothing, like, okay, as far as I could tell, there was nothing for him to be mopey about. I mean, look at Cypher. He and Cypher grew up in the same place, in the same environment, and then moved themselves over to the garden to learn how to be suit soldiers. And yet, they both turned out way different to the point of, you wonder, why didn't Squall become a little bit more cheerful like Cypher was? Like, Cypher wasn't, like, happy-go-lucky like Zell, but at least he was actually, I'm gonna have a fun time with what I do, even if it means I'm going to be a jerk. Chicken was. So, yeah, that was one of my big deals, and I even asked the friend that still is in contact with me, why does she think that he's this way? And even she had no idea. But she doesn't like the game either, but she beat it. I watched the ending. So, anywho, I want to give you someone a quiz, and that's why I'm blocking the way. Don't worry, I'll let you through if you answer my questions correctly. Okay, I'm probably gonna fail this. Hee, here we go. Question 1. What can your friends do in place of you in Poke Park? La la la. Cleaning duty. Really? Attractions. Oh, excuse me. Question 2. What does your tail look like? A lightning bolt. A star! The moon! Okay, these are easy, never mind. Who excels in living life sideways? Oh. Corsola, of course. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness, Blues! Great. I'll let you through now. Okay. So, yeah, speaking of my friends, the one who got married but lost contact with me, her favorite Final Fantasy game was actually, 9, and admittedly, I love 9 too. It's a very unappreciated game. Out of, you know, all the Final Fantasies that could be appreciated, that one's actually very good, to the point that it, like, I never really played the first one, but I know about it, and as far as I could tell, it does bring back old elements of the first Final Fantasy game, to the point that most fans should be happy with it. And if the artwork style bothers you, all I could say is keep going through it, because the game's worth it if you try, but I'm one of those type of gamers who, despite not liking certain games, I'll keep trying to push myself to play them, at least near the end of the game, so that I can say whether for sure I disliked it or not. But that's just me. Oh god. I don't think I'll be able to catch this one. So, yeah, anyway, as for, well, for the friend that I am in contact with, she actually, I think she prefers 6, but she also really enjoyed 12. Because as soon as that one came out, she's like, oh my god, you have to play this! Because at the time, both of us were actually thinking that there was never going to be another good Final Fantasy game after 9. Because we were so disappointed in 10 that, well, I'm sure you can kind of assume that we gave up that Final Fantasy would keep making games like they did back in their Squaresoft days, I should say. Yeah, I lost. You suck. I love you, Piporia. You're awesome. But, yeah, I won. Okay. Ugh. Anyway, so, as for me, personally, my favorite Final Fantasy game would actually probably be 7, which sounds predictable to most people who like Final Fantasy games. Like, anyone who would judge a Final Fantasy gamer would be like, oh, you like Final Fantasy 7? Be original. The thing is, I do like others as well. Oh jeez, he got me. Bloop. Oh jeez. But, oh jeez. There we go. The thing is, I do like other games, that are from the Final Fantasy series, but 7 would probably be my most favorite because of nostalgia reasons. It was actually, I think, my second Final Fantasy game I ever played, or, no, it would be my third, because the first one I ever played was actually 5. And that was via emulator that my dad found, because, well, back then, when I first met my friends in this town, because I moved a lot as a kid until I settled down here and actually have been here for way longer than I have in any other place. So, the friends that I made here were a lot more awesome because I actually was able to get to know them better than the other ones. Well, anyway, so, whoops, that hurt. So, yeah, I would say that Final Fantasy V is also another favorite because something about that game is just very replayable. Even though I never beat it, I did get very far in it. I got up to this point of having to go through, how you say? Yeah, I don't know how to speak English, I have to think now. Well, there was this moment, right, the ghost ship area, your boat crashes, you have to travel, something attacks you, makes all the characters, except for the old man, fall asleep, and then stuff happens. I don't remember what happens after that, but I know that the old man saves us. Oh, you want to visit Lapras? No. You want to go to Iceberg Zone. Lapras isn't at the Cape. The way there is blocked by a rock, but I could break it. Could you teach Gyarados a lesson first? He's been acting weird lately. He says that he's now the zone keeper because Empoleon is away. I'll go talk to him, but it just would end in a fight. Again, blah. Can I count on you? Yeah. God, that thing is huge. And I think Gyarados is over there, but the problem with that is we need a bridge. Hey, Pikachu! It's me!